round. So, Zach, here's your opportunity.
Oh, this is going deep.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we got Sigil of the Empty Thrones in here.
Yes, that means Zali Eldrazi token. Get it ready, baby.
Yeah. All right. And you said earlier, why would you not play with it in Standard? If you had a token available to you, why would you not play a deck with it in Standard? And here it is. The deck's right here.
Why do you think I played a Tarka Red in Portland? Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get used to those Dragon Fodders and Whirling Outbursts somehow. Temple of Silence here for Canners. We're underway in round number 6. Briksza with a Jace.
Yes.
Yes,
Zach.
Wow. Zach policing them.
Great.
Creatures in front of lands, buddy. Don't you
That
know the
is
new
great.
rules? See, that's how you get a mental edge on your opponent right there.
And also, Zach's just correct. That's the rule now.
That's true. That is the rule.
So knock it off. Put your Lanson back, Rudy.
Let's see what the Constellation deck has. Now, one thing about the Constellation deck that's interesting is, we take a look at sideboards all weekend long, and it's very easy to say on the surface, well, the way you keep this thing in check is you just sideboard back to natures. Well, that's true, but you can only sideboard that card if this deck is a thing, and it hasn't been a thing up to this point.
Also, a lot of the enchantments that you're going to see in these decks, like Eidolon Blossoms, Courser, Crewfix, they generate card advantage. So it's not as simple as just saying, all right, I play back to nature and the game's over. A lot of times, these decks draw a lot of cards over the course of the game.
You see a Thoughtseize here from Briksza. He'll take a look. You see a Hero's Downfall, a Thoughtseize, Commune with the Gods, Sigil of the Empty Thrones. A bunch of crazy stuff going on in Canner's deck list. But this is Constellation through and through. Doomwake Giant, Eidolon of Blossoms, Courser of Crewfix. There are some Siege Rhinos, that's why it's Abzan. Sigil of the Empty Thrones, Starfield, Nyx, Abzan Charm, Hero's Downfall, crazy sideboard. We'll get to that soon enough.
It's funny, too, because Zach's start was so innocuous. If you're on Rudy's side of the table, it's okay. It's some sort of whatever, ramp-style stack or some control deck.
Some mid-range green deck.
Right.
I've seen this before. I'll see it again. Back to Canner we're going to go. It's time for a Siege Rhino.
I'd like to point out that is not an enchantment.
No, that's just good coverage. That's what that is.
Disappointing so far.
That is just
Zach's crazy
honest.
enchantment deck just Caryatids and Siege Rhinos.
If it wasn't clear.
Very cool deck, Zach. Seriously, it's going to get sweet here in a moment, though.
No, we think so. We hope so. Jace going to work. Jace is sweet. Just in case it was unclear. And now another Jace. No, Nissa, excuse me.
Have you ever seen Rudy's standard decks or his legacy decks? He loves just little pieces of value here and there. He loves playing these kind of 2-for-1s, and his decks always are, Snapcaster, Mage, style decks. He plays this type of Magic no matter what the format is.
A Temple of Mystery is the follow-up, so a little scry action here.
Some card advantage here, some card advantage there, a little bit of selection here. And eventually you exhaust your opponent's resources entirely, win the game with the leftovers.
They'll scry that card to the bottom. We'll go to Canner's way. Canner with the biggest creature on the table there in Siege Rhino. Hiya! Let's hit the Fopple. Knobs on Charm. Canner going to draw a couple of cards. And just going to pass the turn back. No land to be found. I believe Hero's Downfall to draw here for Briksza. Hero's Downfall will take care of the Rhino. I think we have a Jace flipping. So tough to accomplish.
Yep.
Flipping that Jace. That was so hard.
Although I think given Rudy's hand right now, I might prefer for him to loot first and then Downfall, because I don't know. I think I might want to loot with Jace next turn again.
And Jace will go up to 6. There's a land. Here comes Nissa. Pretty safe block there for the Caryatid.
Rudy's deck does not look like the type of deck that's playing with pump spells.
Seems unlikely. The Aaron Barrett special, Gather Courage. Pretty good with Nissa. There's a Commune. Obzon Charm, Courser, Doomway Giant, Courser, Mystery card. Don't have a great look at it, unfortunately. Make it a third Courser. So Cantor having some mana difficulties at this point. There's a carry added, pass the turn back over to Briksza. Jace's gonna go down. See what's flashing back, it'll be Thoughtseize. Rudy wants to get a better idea of what Cantor's working with. So Courser, a Sigil, a Siege Rhino, a Den Protector, a Hero's Downfall, and a third carry added. There goes Den Protector. And Rudy will write down the hand that Zack has.
Rudy has more interaction in this kind of matchup than most of Zack's opponents are going to be because of the 2 copies of Sultai Charm in his main deck.
Cantor gonna play Sigil. That's not gonna resolve. Just Handful Stroke will take care of that. No Angel tokens just yet, Ali. Maybe a different game. You can see in Rudy's hand right now, he does have a copy of Garrick, Apex Predator. Only 5 lands on the battlefield. Jace is gonna tick up. That's land number 6 in Temple of Malady. Perhaps that finds land number 7, as Rudy left that card on top very quickly from the scry.
I mean, either lands or most spells are good for Rudy right now.
They are
Not a whole lot of bad
fairly good.
draws.
Yeah. See him fix the way he has to cast the Courser there. Do need double green to play the powerful enchantment creature. Now we're going to head back Rudy's way. He's got a Nissa that might flip soon. And Jace has on 4 counters. It looks like Polluted Delta was on top of the deck. So, trigger. Yeah, that's a fetch land. So there's a Hero's Downfall to go after. Wow. Yikes.
I mean, this is why you build the decks the way that...
This is why the fetch land interaction is so good with Nissa.
Yeah.
Oh, no. For those of you who don't know, as here's a languish, what you can do with Nissa is you play land number 7 if it's a fetch land. The effect goes on the stack. Your opponent tries to target the removal. You crack the fetch land in response. And then it goes on the stack again.
Yep.
So actually, fetch land is ideal for land number 7 to beat a single removal spell. Perhaps Rudy does not know that interaction. Here's Nylon of Blossoms.
Well, it doesn't matter against Downfall, right? Oh, no, because it actually...
takes it out of play.
Oh, right.
It transforms.
Yep. I forgot that the actually exiles is part of the process, not just like transform or whatever.
There's an island. Maybe not. Maybe he'll go for a swamp.
And how powerful is it to have a Nissa left over the turn you languish?
Average power.
It's pretty good, right?
Average level of power. Here's 7 mana. Well, Garrick's pretty good to have left. That'll bring a beast along with it.
Yeah, I mean, Rudy's just running him out with card advantage coming from so many different sources.
Enchantment in the Eidolon of the Blossoms means that Cantor gets to draw 2 cards. He's got to find an answer for this Garrick, though. There's a carry added. Here's a Temple. Top card. That'll move to the bottom. In comes the beast. Garrick will tick up. Perhaps another beast on the way. Oh, there it is. What's this follow-up going to be? Jeez. Now Salumgar. And Jace looks like it's going up as well. Means Iolana Blossoms will be -2, -0. We go back to Zack Canner, who will draw a card. There's Doomwake. And draw some cards with 2 Eidolon Blossoms on the battlefield. Cards aren't going to be an issue. Here's Commune. It's just, can he beat the Planeswalkers?
Right. Random removal spells from Rudy don't really matter that much for Zack right now because he's generating so many cards, but he just might not be able to overpower these Planeswalkers.
Yeah, the one thing to note here, 2 copies of Hero's Downfall. And he's already used 1.
Yeah.
Just going to kind of come into the red zone here. Slumgar and both tokens. Looks like Canner will take the 9 and go down to 7. The follow-up looks like it might be a Languish. Yep. That'll clear quite a few things away. Flashback Hero's Downfall. Take care of your Doomwake Giants. Make another Beast token with Garrick. Leave myself with a pretty nice board. That's what Briksza did there.
And a Languish in the graveyard to flash back in case anything ever gets hairy.
Hey, I think you should have
bought those Jaces.
Should have bought those Jaces, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you should have bought those Jaces. Here's Eidolon Blossoms. That'll draw a card. Yeah, Zack Canner is beat here. That's really a demonstration of the power of Jace that game. I tell you what.
Yeah, that card was awesome.
Yeah. It continues to impress as Rudy Briksza does win game number 1 here over Zack Canner. Sultai Control up a game over Rabazon Constellation as we're going to take a look at the sideboards now. We'll start with Canner and his Farika, God of Affliction. A Thoughtseize, 2 Elspeth Suns Champion, 4 Ultimate Price, 2 Reclamation Sage, a Whip of Erebos, 2 Nyx Fleece Rams, and 2 copies of Tragic Arrogance.
I am a fan of Tragic Arrogance in these kind of matchups. I can get behind bringing in the Whip of Erebos. Game's going to be going on for a long time. I think the 2 copies of Elspeth are okay in the matchup, though a little worrisome that Rudy has Slumgar, the Drifting Death that you saw. Probably only the 1 copy, though, so I think Elspeth is still fine. Thoughtseize and Farika all seem like good cards.
What do you see on Rudy's side for his Sultai deck?
Feed the Clan, 2 copies of Gaia's Revenge, 2 copies of Drown in Sorrow, 3 copies of Duress, 2 Bioblights, a Virulent Plague, a Crux of Fate, an Ultimate Price, and 2 copies of Negate. Besides the Ultimate Price and the Crux of Fate, I'm not that interested in anything that's going on here. I think the other spot removal spells are a little low power for what Zack's got going on here. Duresses don't seem great. I guess there's enough enchantments if you've seen Sigil that it's worth bringing in Duress potentially, but I think we're going to see light sideboarding on Rudy's side of the table.
Well, we will talk about the regional championships that are happening here on with Star City Games. Next Saturday, August 1st, a big promotion that's been popular, and we can keep doing it because of you guys playing in it.
Absolutely. If you're not qualified for the Pro Tour, you live in the United States, head over to starcitygames.com/regional. Find the regional championship closest to you. Great way to accrue Open Series points, qualify for the Invitational, or just play in a large cash standard tournament.
And you're right. 7th down on the left-hand side, Northern NJ.
Yep.
Look at you. Look at you having an effect on things. Of course, in Northern NJ or any of those locations, first 200 players will be able to get the play mat. It is the take on the Ellen DeGeneres photo. We've taken all of our friends from Game Night and our Creature Collection series, placed them all on here so you can find the bee, the turtle, the dragon, the mammoth, all of that stuff if you look hard enough. Free and exclusive to the first 200 players, August 1st, next Saturday, starcitygames.com/regionals for more information. Gonna be a sweet tournament.
Gonna be.
If you're not qualified for the Pro Tour, head that way.
A lot of opportunity to battle with the new cards, see what's going on with Magic Origins. You got a brew you've been working on, you see something from the coverage that you're interested in playing. Regional is a great opportunity to do just that.
And by battle with the new cards, you mean battle with Jace.
Yep.
Because that card's real good. It's a real doozy, I tell you what. We mentioned Rudy Briksza is a player from the New Jersey area who we saw win a lot at the beginning of the year.
Yes, and the back end of 2014 was very good to him as well. One of the first people to come up to me and say Treasure Cruise was busted in Legacy when that card got printed, and there was some concern in the community that it wasn't particularly good. A lot of people said it was overhyped. Rudy was right on that.
7 Open Series top 8s with 2 Ws, a background in martial arts, played some soccer in high school, and was a lead in several plays throughout his life. Almost went to school for acting. Rudy, this is an open challenge. I challenge you to a martial arts duel.
That's something where you better be sure.
I'm very unsure.
It's one thing to challenge someone to a game of chess, because if you lose, it's whatever, you lost a game of chess.
Yeah.
Martial arts, the consequences can be pretty bad.
I'll probably lose, but that's fine.
Okay.
I have a wrestling background. Does that count for anything?
It's worth something. It's
Okay.
definitely worth something.
All right. It's an open challenge. There's we have a basketball open challenge going on right now. I have an open challenge for Rudy in martial arts. Purple belt in several disciplines. I'm very confident I will lose this battle.
Yeah.
Maybe I should challenge him in soccer since I played that for a really long time. That's probably better, the soccer challenge. But I just like to open it up. I mean, I'll do anything.
No, I know that.
Currently up a game is Briksza versus Zack, number 32 on our Season 3 leaderboard. Let's see which one of these players can get game number 2. If Rudy wins it, he moves on to 5-1. Or Canner can tie things up. Do want to see how well this Constellation deck does, however. Starfield of Nyx is a card that got a lot of hype when it got released. A lot of people were super interested in that card.
Really powerful in a slow game.
And I'm interested to see what that card can do.
Some parallels drawn to Opalescence, which is a card that was a dominant player in Standard during its time.
Yep. I think that those parallels are reasonable, as here is a duress.
I don't know. Opalescence was killing people on the 4th turn. I don't think we're going to see.
That's supposed to be. Let's blame Replenish for that. Can we blame the real culprit?
Yeah, Replenish is definitely the more problematic of the two cards.
See, duress is going to see Tragic Arrogance, Eidolon of Blossoms among the other cards here. It looks like it's going to be selecting a Hero's Downfall, however. And now a Temple of Melody. See where that top card goes for Rudy. He's going to stay on top very quickly as Canner will draw. Urborg is the land. Courser is the play. Yes! Right back at him! You put your lands in the back.
Oh, that is great. That is great.
Here's
that
a
happened.
Thoughtseize.
Oh, my God. That is so funny.
Lands in front no longer.
Rudy was just waiting for Zack to mess that up.
You
He
make
couldn't
any
wait.
mistake.
Could not wait to tell him to put his lands in the back. That is perfect.
Tragic Arrogance, Sigil of the Empty Throne, Eidolon of Blossoms, and a Temple of Silence. Eidolon of Blossoms is going to go away. Keep in mind there's Eidolon of Blossoms on top of the deck. But I believe Briksza does have a copy of Disdainful Stroke at the ready for one of these larger spells. Canner will draw Eidolon. Top card of the deck is a Siege Rhino. In comes the Courser. There's a Temple. That'll trigger the Courser. I have a feeling Siege Rhino is going to stay on top of the deck. Probably better than a random draw.
I don't know. It's not an enchantment.
It is not an enchantment. You're right. Oh, boy. Here's Ashiok.
If your deck's slow and it's got a lot of good 3 and 4 mana creatures in it, we saw this earlier. Ashiok is brutal.
Yeah.
And Zack's deck is exactly that. It's on the slow side, and it's got a lot of good 3 and 4 mana plays.
There's a Temple for Rudy as well. See where that top card's going to go in just a moment. Looks like it's headed to the bottom from the scry. Canner will draw. Den Protector on top of the deck.
Also not an enchantment.
You're having a real problem with these lack of enchantments, aren't you?
Yeah, it's true.
Den Protector the draw. Let's see if an enchantment's on top of the deck. Windswept Teeth is not an enchantment.
It's a land he has to play with, though, so that's fine.
All right.
Not going to blame him for having Windswept Teeth in his
Fair
deck.
enough. Another Windswept Teeth, so you're okay with that?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Looks like a Forest was the draw. Ashiok's moving up. Windswept Teeth is 1. Thoughtseize is 2. Elspeth is 3. Those are not enchantments.
Yep.
Now here's Thoughtseize. Tragic Arrogance, Den Protector, Sigil of the Empty Throne, all cards in Canner's hand. There goes Den Protector.
Rudy's deck has to take Den Protector nearly every single time because it plays so slowly that the card that you make him discard otherwise is just going to come back.
Jace was the play as well there for Rudy. Kenner going to sacrifice that Windswept Heath, and not like what he saw on the top of his deck, so we'll see what mystery cards on top here that he'll be drawing thanks to Corsair in just a moment. That's a Windswept Heath. Oh, draw that. Sandstep Citadel on top of the deck. So tried to increase his chance of drawing some action, but it didn't work out that time. Here come the Knuckleheads at Ashiok. Ashiok's going to go down to 1. Does Canner go for maybe the Sigil this turn?
Seems like a pretty good spot for Sigil.
We'll give it a try.
Get to draw a card.
So if it resolves, the card will be coming. But it's not going to resolve. Disdainful Stroke will take care of that. Sandstep Citadel will enter the battlefield. Temple Melody on top of the deck. And back to Briksza we go. Ashiok ticking up. Lands and a Sigil. Thoughtseize on top of the deck. Jace looks like it's going to flip now.
Although a problem with Rudy's deck as it pertains to Jace, still going to be super good for him, is his deck really needs lands and spells. He's not this deck that loots as efficiently as, let's say, Jeskai does, because he needs all of his lands.
Sure. Starfield and Nyx on top of the deck now. We all want to see it happen.
You got Sigil in your graveyard. Oh, yeah.
Could be a party. It'd be a tough card for Rudy to beat, that's for sure. Oh, I guess he has Starfield Nyx in hand. He'll draw one. Oh, boy. Plane's on top of the deck. That plane's going to enter the battlefield, trigger the Corsair. So Starfield Nyx has got a lot going on with it. It's kind of a combination of...
It's slow replenish plus opalescence in one card.
Yeah, it's a very strange card.
Slow replenish and slow opalescence slapped together.
Yes. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your battlefield, so that's slow replenish. And then as long as you control 5 or more enchantments, each other non-aura enchantment you control is a creature in addition to the other types and has base power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost.
And I love Zack there not even bothering to try to kill Ashiok last turn because he knows the Starfield is so good here that Rudy just has to blow the Perilous Vault.
Yeah.
He can't wait.
No reason to have a battle over that. Because Starfield will take over this game all by itself. So Rudy with his Jace and his Ashiok going to try to overcome the Starfield. Zack going to return Ivon Blossoms. Draw 2 cards. Isn't that adorable? Now he'll draw for his turn a copy of Llanowar Waste. Llanowar Waste on top of the deck. He's breezing through his deck now. Here's the Thoughtseize. There's Nurburg on the battlefield, so that's why he's able to play it off of his planes. Rudy's going to respond by playing a Dig Through Time. So he'll take a look at the top 7. And take 2 with him. Sultai Charm, Disdainful Stroke among the options here for Rudy. We'll see if he finds 2 cards that he's happy with.
And Zack, again, can still just be very aggressive about going after Rudy's life total right now. Because Rudy can't really hold on the game the way that it's shaping up.
Disdainful Stroke and Sultai Charm are the options. Zack will go with the Disdainful Stroke. We'll leave Rudy with his Sultai Charm. Llanowar Waste will enter. Top card after that, Tragic Arrogance. Perhaps it's time for some beatdowns, we'll see. A lot of mana being tapped here. I wonder what this is. That's a copy of Tragic Arrogance. Well, well, well. For each player, Zack gets to choose among the permanents that player controls an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker. Then each player sacrifices the rest.
Not that impressive there. Got rid of an expendable creature. Got to make sure that both of the planeswalkers left the table.
Left him with a Perilous Vault, but couldn't kill that, obviously. And now Plains will enter the battlefield from Courser. Top card, Llanowar Waste. Beatdowns. Will Vault go active? The answer is yes.
Very surprised. If that attack was going to induce the vault, then he probably should have done it before Zack got a free land off the Courser.
There's a Doomway Giant post. I believe Nashak may have been the draw. It is.
He's got Sultai Charm and Hero's Downfall as his leftover cards. So
those are good leftovers. Couple of creatures there, Nylon of Blossoms and Doomway Giant. Nashak can bring those back next turn. Kenner will untap and draw. Here comes Doomwake. You probably have to check that Ashiok, I think. Yep, there's removal spell. Doesn't matter anyway. There's a Temple, Malady. Top card looks like he might be heading to the bottom here for Canner.
Zack has some hope of being able to keep the card because Rudy has some attractive creatures to put into play with Ashiok right now.
There's a Thoughtseize. Taking a Tragic Arrogance. The rest of the hand here for Canner is just lands. Ashiok's going to go up. Courser was the card that was left on top. Actually, two Coursers, and then a Temple of Malady from the Ashiok activation. Canner going to need a good one here. Ashiok's really starting to take over this game. It's got a Temple of Plenty. Top card, we'll see where that goes.
Zack can't
to the bottom.
Zack can't even effectively scry right now, too, which is another problem.
It's a big problem, yeah. Saw Courser come back there. Briksza with a Den Protector on top of his deck. Canner taking a look at his graveyard. Maybe perhaps he's found a Den Protector. Both these players have gone through quite a few cards from their decks. There's a land. So Ilana Blossoms join the battlefield. Rudy will play Temple. We'll see that card, of course, because Courser's on the battlefield. Just wants to make sure he gains his life. The Scry looks to be a Nissa. That's, of course, a Nissa checklist card that's been altered. Ashiok will turn over a couple of cards. Doomway Giant among them. Now there's a Morph. That's a Den Protector. We know that. And Canner will sacrifice his Windswept Heath. No lands to search up, so just looking to shuffle as he may have scryed away some cards that he's interested in drawing later. Rudy's in a pretty good spot here. He's really weathered the storm.
Yeah, again, the style of Rudy's deck is such that if you're playing a long game and not producing any specific trumps, he's going to have a big edge because he just plays with more 2-for-1s, more high-impact cards than the average deck does.
Reclamation Sage comes in. Takes care of Courser. Nissa the draw. Nissa will be played. And it's pretty easy to flip. Rudy's already playing it flipped. So we'll see if he wants to bring the token or if he wants to draw a card here. Sage. Animist. Starts on 3, goes up to 4. Duress. And I'll duress you. And you have lands, nothing to take.
Not too surprising here, as Zack would have been casting spells if he had them.
Den Protector will unmegamorph Rudy will get back a disdainful stroke as protection. Along with the Sultai Charm in hand, he's got to be feeling pretty good about where this game's at. Also saw him return return Doomwake Giant from Ashiok. Here's a 3-mana spell. It's Abzan Charm. That'll go after Doomwake Giant. Sultai Charm will take care of Eidolon of Blossoms.
Rudy knows that's safe, as that was the draw step for the turn.
Yep.
Zack just on 2 lands in hand.
He's got all the info. Urborg, beatdowns. Ashiok going up. So many buttons for Rudy to push here. He's got to use his Nissa too. There's a Hero's Downfall. And that is going to do it. Rudy Risk's going to win this match here over Zack Kenner, 2-0. Sultai Control will take care of the innovative Abzan Constellation deck. And for Riska, up to 5-1.
Very good stuff. And, Zack's deck just a little bit too slow. And with Rudy having cards like Hero's Downfall and Sultai Charm in his deck, he can answer most of Zack's big plays. Yeah. That's going to drag the game out, and Rudy would dig through time with Jace, with Garrick. He's got a pretty big edge if the game goes on for a long time.
I think we forget kind of just how good Sultai Charm is as a card. I think part of the reason that we're seeing it a little bit more this weekend is because